Yep, going on, people? I thought I'd do a different type of video today. Hold up a second. Okay, listen. This is the main reason why I want to do this video is because this is literally the dumbest shit that I ever seen in my life, right? So because I get this comment, I don't know how this started happening. I've been getting this a lot lately, and I don't know why. It takes 2 seconds to look my name up to know that I do this shit behind it, whatever. The internet is stupid, but yeah, I guess I'm gonna do this video specifically because I want to talk about there's something in particular that I kind of want to touch base on, and I kind of want to do a video on to talk about this whole back and forth about the West making shitty, ugly ass characters compared to the East making good looking characters, and it's like this night and day, right? So we all know this, but we don't know how the East is actually doing it in such a subtle way. And it's very easy how they do it. Well, it's just normal shit that we learned back in the art school. It's not something that they're doing different. It's what the West is doing intentionally because they're breaking away from the ways that we learned art back in the day. Because I'm a 90s baby, right? So I went to school for this stuff. I actually sat in classrooms, learned about anatomy, watched naked people sit on a podium and shit like that, and then just start to draw, to copy that. I did that for probably a year and a half. And then before that in high school, I went to an art school for high school as well. So I studied anatomy there. I did a whole bunch of stuff. I had a lot of teachers. And then even before that, I had teachers who was teaching me art and stuff like that too. So I've been doing this for a long time, and I've been self-taught myself to where I went off my own beaten path. And I'm like, I want to take what I learned and basically implement it into a style of my own. As y'all can tell, I'm very sick right now. My voice sounds raspy, and I got all this bullshit in my throat. Oh, Jesus Christ, that didn't sound right at all.
Pause.
Neither here or there. As you can see, I got Marvel Rivals up right now, because I think Marvel Rivals is the gold standard on how to do subtle, sexy female characters. And when I mean by subtle, I don't mean Stella Blade sexy. Stella Blade is sexy for a reason, because she is meant to look like that. I'm not talking about Mecha Break, because Mecha Break have ass sliders.
Boom! Questo è il futuro, ladies and gentlemen. Questo è il futuro.
Mecha Break is crazy. But the thing is, though, the Mecha Break situation, you can choose to make them however you want. You can, you have the ass as big as Nicki Minaj, or you can have the asses flat as Brie Larson. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. But why would you choose to not take $1 million when they offer you $1 million?
Shit.
Like, that's crazy. Like, if you offer me all that ass and you offer me $1 million, are you going to take 500,000 or are you going to take the mill? Nobody's going to take half ass. They're going to take all that. The point is, I'm not talking about those games who are intentionally sexy. I'm talking about games. I'm talking about this standard, because this standard is subtle. It's not quote unquote what you would what the fucking haters would consider gooner material. This game is not gooner material at all. These females have normal feminine bodies. Normal. This is normal feminine bodies. It's not over the top. Yes, you got that. How many times have you seen this in person? If you haven't seen this in person in real life, then you need to go outside a little bit more and actually just be around people. Go to the gym, go to your local grocery.
BBLs, like the most average woman. I remember back in the early 2000s, if a woman got like a BBL or some type of form of butt lift, they had millions of dollars, and there was some type of celebrity or something to that degree, or they was really well off. Now that's the average basic woman can get a fucking BBL. Like, it's not something that is just like exclusive to rich people anymore.
Store.
It's still pricey, but the average woman can actually pay for that if they had a decent enough job, hold their money and stuff. So, like, what the fuck?
Hang out at
now, it's not natural. I'm not saying that's natural, and I don't think that's okay. But I'm just saying, like, you've seen someone who looked like this one way or another.
Beach somewhere, or just be around people where women exist. You will see this body type every fucking where. This is not even over the top. I come from a black community, right? So a lot of black girls that where I grew up from, you already know niggas like ass. This body type is nothing for us to see. This is like second rate. So this is like, to me, this is normal sexiness, right? It's not over the top. It's not Stella Blade. It's not Mecha Breaker.
Like, go to the fucking gym. Like, women don't go to the gym. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Go to the gym. You'll see women who have bodies like this at the gym, working at it or having it right now. Like, what the fuck?
Any type of thing like that. So it's Order First Descendant. It's not anything like that. This is subtle. So I'm gonna base it off of this. And the reason why I'm using Marvel Rivals, for instance, is because I begin a lot of commissions dealing with Marvel Rivals. This is an art video if you haven't noticed by now. I'm actually gonna do a picture, or I'm gonna do the beginning of a picture to let you guys know on what makes these female characters subtle sexy and makes it so perfect. These character designs, even with the males, how they actually emphasize the male, you know, the masculine nature of all the male characters is done so well. Like the upper body is way bigger than the bottom half. The waist isn't, it's, you know, big. The hips
right?
are not.
Right? I'm pretty sure Jay the Concept will agree. Like, he will say going to the gym to these idiots is somehow phobic. He will say the same thing. He'll say that shit. Like, the insane people will say that. I know Jay the Concept has enough common sense to know that a lot of people at the gym, you can see this body type at the gym. For the men and women. That's why I like Jay the Concept. He makes sense. Like, he says everything I've said before. Like, this is why I can watch his videos perfectly fine.
Not big. Everything is lets you know that this is a male character. It's very easy, and they use basic artistic, I would say, techniques in order to achieve this goal to make these characters look the way it looks. I always like to go to the Hulk because the Hulk is over exaggerated with his big muscles, but as you can see up top, he looks like he goes to the gym. Come on now, like his upper body is huge, but his bottom half, no hips, big legs, big feet. Perfect male over the top physique. It lets you know off a first glance with the silhouette that this is a man, and he's an in shape man. That's the difference. It's the same thing with the women characters. Let's go with everybody's favorite. Well, my favorite, Sue Storm. Sue Storm, I would say, have the perfect body type. Hers is a little bit the same as I would say Cloak and Dagger's a little bit too. Oh yeah, they have different.
No, I think out of the two bodies, might be weird to say, but I believe Cloak has a better body than Invisible Woman. Now, I'm not saying she's ugly. I'm not saying she has a bad body. I'm not saying that. But if I had to pick between the two, I think I would pick probably Cloak, body-wise, and face-wise, I probably might pick Sue Storm. I don't really like Cloak's face to a degree. I'm not saying she's ugly. I'm just saying I just feel like that Invisible Woman's better looking in the face, but I think Cloak has a better body than Invisible Woman. Not saying that they're bad. It's just that more emphasized body, I guess, in physique. So.
Female body types in this game too. A lot of games don't do this. The First Descendant don't do this at all. The First Descendant will have smaller chests. They will have smaller hips for certain characters, but for overall, the First Descendant have the same base female model. In this game, they do not. They have different types of female body types for this game, and it actually is perfect. This game is subtle sexiness. You will see this anywhere. If you go to the gym, if you go to just outside walking.
You said it. If you go to the gym, I see what I'm talking about?
You'll see a woman that actually looks like this. This is not over the top. It's not like super, really not. I would say like in your face type shit. This is normal. I actually like to use
in your face type character is like very over the top anime bodies from like ecchi times, like I don't know, like I guess you can use something like what's that one anime with the girl? Oh fuck, Tenjo Tige. For those who've seen that before, if you've seen Tenjo Tige in like the mid 2000s, you know what I'm talking about.
Baku Henry said Way Cloak has a better body than Invisible Girl.
Yes, I believe so. I believe that Cloak has a better body than Invisible Girl. I just think Invisible Girl has a better face than Cloak, in my opinion.
Use this game as a base model on how to achieve drawing sexiness for subtle sexiness.
Yeah, there we go. If you look at the characters in that,
Baku Henry asks, you mean Dagger?
Oh, you got me. It's Dagger. I mean, my bad. Pause. Pause! Hard pause! You got. I was like, wait, what? I was like, wait. Oh man, you got me there. Okay, I admit defeat on that one. I said the wrong. Like,
Baku
you know
Henry
what I'm talking
said
about.
lol.
When I say Cloak, because you said Cloak and Dagger. I keep forgetting that I refer to it just as Cloak. Don't say the full thing.
Ryuga Samurai said
Oh shit. You guys out here got me saying this crazy shit. Thank you, Henry. I appreciate you, bro. Bri, I'm looking at you, bro. Holy shit, that's crazy. I'm just kidding.
For like a woman. So I've been getting hit up a lot about actually drawing these characters. As you can see, they recently had me commissioned to do Storm. I did Invisible Woman, and I did Squirrel Girl. So since I did this, and I had a ton of Marvel Rival streams, people have been hitting me up for one character in specific. It's a character I don't really play as much, but I know how popular she is. Fucking Magic.
Alright, pause. What the fuck? It just paused. What the hell? Oh wait, it just okay.
Magic has been the main person that people have been trying to get me to draw for the longest, and I'm actually going to do it on this video right now. I'm going to show you guys a couple different techniques on how to get the look and aesthetic that make people, I would say, quote unquote, goon over this character so much, right? Because she's not over the top. She doesn't have accentuated, features. Her chest isn't that huge.
Yo, Trump, I tell you, Magic is a hell to deal with in the back line. I play mainly support, but like, Jesus Christ, I play Rocket, Cloak, and Dagger, fucking Visible Woman, and I never play Loki. I never tried playing Loki, but I played Luna, and what's the other one? I'm thinking of someone else, but I can't think of it. I played a bit of Adam and Mantis, but my top 3 or 4 people is Rocket, Invisible Woman, Cloak and Dagger, and I guess the last one, the 4th one, will be Luna. It's my last resort. I don't really like using her because, like, I don't know, I just don't like using her. It's just me, though. But
huge. She doesn't have a super huge ass. She's very subtle. But what makes people draw to this is for very subtle reasons. And that's why I said Marvel Rivals is the good midpoint on how to get female characters to look like actual women from their features. Number one, how she stands. She stands like a woman. Her legs aren't, I would say like this. Look at her body type compared to his body type over here. That is literally plank. She looks like a goddamn woman. So let me put it like this. Her hips all the way down here, she has that hourglass feature still. Even though it's not over the top, she still has an hourglass type of feature. And plus her legs are spread apart. It makes it look like an hourglass. So automatically for you looking as a person who finds things aesthetically pleasing, right? We don't have to even engage with thought to know that her figure is aesthetically pleasing. It's just like looking at, like a new car or something like that. If you look at a car that looks good, it looks sleek, it looks, the color is nice. Off of first glance, you're just going to just look at it. It hasn't registered yet that you think it looks good, but your brain is telling you this is interesting. So you just keep looking at it. You probably double take. If you double take with anything, that's how you know your brain finds it interesting. And when you fixate it on something, but you can't figure out what it is, that means you're interested in something, whether it's good or bad. But most times when you want to stay looking at it, that's how you know it's good. And a lot of people, because I'm getting blown up about this anyway, finds Magic appealing. And for very specific reasons. I'm going to tell you why. But I'm actually going to do her as my next project too, because I've been getting blown up like crazy. So finally, yeah, I'm going to do Magic right now. I'm going to do Magic, but I'm going to show you guys how to capture the female essence on keeping it sexy and appealing at the same time. It's very simple to do this stuff though. You don't have to go over the top with this either. But of course, for me, since it fits my art style, I am going to enhance it a little bit. I'm not talking about enhancing her assets. I'm talking about enhancing her figure. So first things first, let's get going. So the first things first, what we're going to do is we're going to try to figure out, we're going to do a couple poses, but I already got this pose in my head right now. So I'm just going to do it though. The number one thing you want to do is insinuate how Magic is going to be presented in this picture. And if you can present her in a way to where it captures her aesthetic completely. Remember, she's holding this sword. Remember her figure. You got to remember what makes Magic, Magic, because you have to respect, because remember, I made a video before talking about respecting fan art. If you're doing fan art of a character, you have to keep the heart and soul of the character.
What did I say? What did I say about this? Many times, I've said this many times. When people ask me to do a draw this in your own style, or they pay me to do a fan art of their character, or a fan art of a known
Henry
character,
just followed. Just followed.
I make it my mission not to change mostly anything, if ever rarely, very rare. If I change anything, it'd be like one or two things that are usually small, but that's very rare. I don't like changing the character if I'm doing a fan art, if I don't have to. But when I'm doing a redesign, that's a little bit of a difference. If I'm doing a redesign, I try to keep the essence of the character intact. I don't like making big changes. I will just probably simplify and then add a few and subtle complex things. Little accents here and there, but nothing too crazy. So Jay is on the right path. I keep telling you guys this when I teach you guys this. Keep the essence of the character. Do not add a bunch of crazy things on a character. You don't have to take away, but if it has no real significance as in function of what they do, like a sword or a robot arm or something that appeals to the character, therefore don't add it if it's not necessary. Keep the important elements of the character in check, but don't try to add things that is not needed. If you think it's going to make them interesting, makes sense why it makes it interesting. So like if I'm doing this drawing here, I'm doing a drawing here of Marceline. I'm doing a redrawing of Marceline in my own style based on this. I don't know if this is an AI or someone actually drew this. I believe this is someone drew this the way it looks, the like artistically how it looks. I know some of you can't see it. I know on TikTok you can see it. I know on YouTube you can't see it, but I'm holding it in my hand and I'm doing it as I'm going, as I'm watching Jay the Concept. You guys can probably see on the screen, but you can't see in my hand because I'm holding the phone. But I'm not trying to make crazy changes. The only change I only made is put the hair over the eyes. It's not supposed to be Marceline per se. I'm just taking the pose and then adding some elements here and there or taking away. That's it. But I'm not putting anything insane. I'm not making it drastically crazy or different because it's just for practice, but I'm not doing this as a full-fledged drawing. I might even post this on Buy Me a Coffee as a form of lesson or something, but like, yeah, so like I try to keep everything intact and I try not to make too many crazy changes and keep it as close to what I see it to be.
That's just how I work. So I have to know what makes magic, right? So I have to know her movements. I have to know how she will look. And I got a pose that I think will capture.
Oh, and another thing, posing is a big thing too.
Virus
so like,
said Morgan valid.
If you're drawing a character, say for instance you're doing a fan art of a character, right? And you're doing a pose, and they have a personality that is very obvious. You don't put a person who is very like conservative, very shy, very, not really outgoing, more inwards, to be doing anything that'll be more outwardly or extrovert. You keep them in that introvert like pose. So if I draw a character that's really shy, I will put them more in a shy pose, like hiding behind a pole, or looking at someone that they like, or have them more withdrawn to who they are.
Virus said
or
the
something
pose
like
has
that.
got to scream the character.
So like it has to have that essence of the personality within the character themselves. Now if it's like someone who's very extroverted, very loud, very in your face, like say Bakugo, I won't put him in a conservative pose. I'll put him something more in your face, fuck you type stuff, like him throwing a middle finger and he's like really near to the camera, he don't give a shit type stuff, to like someone who's more more drawn in and more, conservative in their movements, like someone who's really shy. I would not put like the character from Black Clover, I forgot her name, I forgot her name, but the one that has green hair. She's very shy. She's very scared of everything. She doesn't like to be in the spotlight. I won't put her in a spotlighty like pose, right? So that's one thing you need to keep in mind. Just don't put them in a random pose. Make sense of the character, So yeah.
Her
Ryu
in
the
her
Samurai
best
said
light
gray.
possible. So
Gray,
let's
there you
get
go.
started. There's
Thank
a
you,
couple
bro.
things I want to do, but we're just going to start off with just a figure. I got her hand up right here because number one, she has the sword. You have to include the sword in the picture. That's what makes magic magic. Her sword is like, I would say, Thor's hammer. If you don't draw Thor's hammer in a picture to where you draw Thor, then you're just fucking up immediately.
Yep.
So you have to, the sword and magic goes
You're
hand in
correct.
hand. So there has to be
I'm not gonna lie, I might put this section into the art section since this is technically an art video. It's not just an anti-woke thing, but it's like an art video. So I'm gonna put this as a video to be. It's gonna be kind of small. I'm sorry about that, Jay, if he sees this video, because I will tag him in this. I tag everyone who I do a reaction to, whether it's the anime stuff or art something. I tag them in their video so they can see it. If it's really small, so you know what? What I'll do is this, just for Jay. I'm going to turn this off so you guys can see it, because it's probably hard to see for when I post this on YouTube. I'm going to make this big so you guys can see it on Twitch, because this is where I'm going to get the video from. And I'm going to resize it so you guys can see it better when the video comes up. Okay. It's going to be a bit stretched, but I'm sorry about that if he sees this video. But hey.
Mono said I have to go now.
Alright, later, Mono. There you go, so you can see him. Alright, let's go. Sorry about that. So you guys can see his
Mono said good night, everyone. Have a great night.
Because this actually preaches the stuff I say
Ryuga
all the
Samurai
time.
said good night, Mono.
Night, Mono. This is the stuff I preach all the time. So there you go. And people don't believe me or think I'm just trying to not put as much effort into the so-called work I'm trying to teach them. But that's how it is. Okay, so I made it smaller so you guys can see it better.
a harmony when it comes to this picture with her holding her sword or presenting her sword in such a way to where it's like an action pose or something very simple. Magic is very, I would say, monotone. So you don't have to do extraordinary, I would say, poses or over the top poses for her, because she's not going to do that. That's not her character. She's very subtle, as you can see. So I'm trying to keep that thought process while I'm doing this, while I'm trying to create, you know, the fan art version of her. So we're going to keep the sword up here. The idea is that the sword is going to be up here and then it's going to go all the way down here, kind of like she's presenting it. She's royalty. She's royalty in hell, I guess. Yeah, she's the ruler of limbo. So yeah, I guess she is, you know, that type of way. This outfit is dope as fuck though. I really love this outfit. I really wish I was drawing this one, but
cool.
most people have presented me to draw this one right here. And remember, this is just the base. This is just trying to get us to see where everything goes first. So this doesn't have to be perfect right now. I'm just trying to figure out where everything goes as far as the anatomy. And then once I get that in, we're going to put in all the pieces when it comes to magic too. So don't worry about it. This is not going to be something quick. I'm going to do basically most of her design, but I'm not going to do all of it. I just want to show you guys how I start this off.
Told you. You don't have to start right away.
Kind of like she's royalty, because when she's royalty, you sit a certain way, you act a certain way, you present yourself a certain way. So that's why I have to insinuate with her, is because with her, she has to look like she's on top of something in general.
Correct. Not wrong.
In her body type, when it comes to her posture and how she poses, notice how princess characters pose a little bit differently than characters that are, I would say, tough, hard, or rough. Their poses are not going to be the same. They're going to be, you know, more timid, closed off, everything tight, not loose and shit like that. People who are over exaggerated, they have features or poses that are more out, besides the characters that are a little bit more reserved to where everything is like inward and stuff. So for people who are, I would say, on top or run things, they have a royalty type of posture to them. And you know what I'm talking about when I say royalty. It's like they're presenting something all the time. They're posturing themselves because they have to be seen. a certain type of way out of respect. And Magic definitely has that type of, you know, posture when it comes to her character. Let's see how big this sword is. Hold up. Okay, cool. So we could do another method because the sword is actually bigger than I thought it was, but still, that's cool. That actually works out. So now I get to do something that's sweet. And now for right now, we're going to start adding the details. But what I'm just letting you guys know, this figure just lets you know exactly what's going on right here. It's very subtle. It's very feminine. And it basically enhances and shows everything that Magic actually is.
Correct.
Her waist is smaller than what a normal character would actually have. You actually see this waist right here. The waist is actually very, very small. It's the same right here too. So I'm trying to keep that a little bit accurate when it comes to mine as well. So I'm gonna try to keep that in there. Remember, messiness is not a bad thing. Messiness just lets you know where things go. Then you can clean it up. Cleaning up a mess is not detrimental to you. So don't get Jesus Christ, I hate this code. Yeah, but don't get discouraged when your shit looks messy. It's very easy to fix this. Even when you're doing it traditional, digital just makes it much easier.
What did you just say? Traditional makes it much easier. See what I tell you. What I tell you. When I would actually, would you rather do digital than traditional? I would rather do traditional than I do digital. When I say traditional, just a piece of paper and a pencil, or a pen, mainly a pen and piece of paper.
Where there's bends and folds, I'm gonna add a little hump part right there to let you know that it's actually affecting the skin and it's actually tight around the skin. That's how you insinuate most features when it comes to, I would say, stockings, leggings, or just anything that humans have on too. That's how you insinuate it. You let it know, well, you let your eye know that, oh, this is actually affecting the skin. It's actually on her, not just drawn on her. You don't want stuff to look like it is drawn on, as you know, artificially. You want it to look like it's actually affecting it. What you're seeing is what I'm trying to say. I think I'm making sense when I'm saying that.
Pretty much saying that it doesn't look flat.
Remember, all this stuff is going to be added on later. Don't worry about how difficult it looks. Worry about just getting it on there, and then you can actually figure out the detailed stuff later.
Is using the big to small method based on mentality, work practice, and just everything. So you start big by just getting it out of the way, just drawing everything. Don't worry about detail. And then as you have everything in place where you think or at least resembles something close to what you have, then you start whittling down, you start cleaning up, you start just, reshaping everything. This is why whenever you're doing a drawing, do not worry about the proportions at the very beginning of the work. What you should worry about is getting the actual idea or essence of the drawing first, and then worry about the proportions later, because you can always, especially if you're doing it on digital, you can always resize everything with the lasso tool or whatever the case may be. So you don't ever have to worry about that part. That should be the last thing. This is why when I'm teaching students, I always tell them, this is why I purposely put the idea of proportions last instead of putting it first. It is important. I'm not saying proportions are not important because, well, they're proportions. They have to look proportionate. But then again, it's not the first thing you should worry about at the very beginning. Especially if you are learning how to draw, or even if you're learning, should be the first thing to worry about when doing like a fan art or you're doing even a character design. Just have the idea first, because when you're too focused on details, you get lost in the sauce, and then you put like 3 hours in trying to make one hand look really realistic, and then the rest of the whole other body is not even done. Then you feel kind of burnt out. You don't want to do it anymore, and you just walk away and do something else. So that's why you don't want to do proportions. Proportions should be like the last and final thing in the whole sketch process. So when everything's in check and the sketch looks pretty good, then you do the proportions by flipping the canvas or whatever case may be that you need to do, like flipping the canvas and looking back and forth if it mirrors good on one side in the act, and then also making sure that one part of the arm is not too bigger, like if the arm's not too far past the crotch or the waist is too small or whatever case may be, you can usually see it. Your brain will literally tell you. And even if you're, and plus if you're using reference, that just makes it much more easier, 9 times out of 10, especially if you're just a beginner. So always keep that in check.
I want her to kind of look like a barbarian. And now, this is the fun part. The face. Now this part right here, I'm gonna be a little bit more talkative on, because I have to let you know how I go about doing a fan art piece's face. I mix in a little bit of my style with the style that already exists with Magic to begin with. So I'm gonna zoom in. Magic has a very Russian type of face because she is Russian. So there's that. But she also has this very stern type look. Her eyes aren't too anime-ish. They're very more sternness. So I got to keep that with her when she's looking at you. But she is going to be looking at you in this picture. But it's how she's going to be looking at you. Just like that. And now we're going to start adding the hair and actually having this picture look like Magic a little bit. So Magic has this little spot right here. I'll say her spot, her hair actually starts right there. And then it branches out. This sword gonna be fun to do. I'm not gonna do the full sword on this video, but I am gonna do a little technique that I like to do to actually show the values that I use. So watch this. So this is what I got for right now. This is going to be my base model on what I'm going to be doing for the full sticker. Of course, the sticker is going to be looking completely different. All the details are going to be in, but I just wanted to show you guys on how to make something on why Marvel Rivals characters are so aesthetically pleasing when it comes to just keeping it at a base level. So that's all I wanted to try to do today. If you guys want to see more videos like this, if you guys want to see breakdowns on how to do fan art correctly, then let me know. Hit me down in the description, wherever the fuck, YouTube comment section. I don't give a fuck. But yeah, but for right now, I will probably do this on stream, like far as putting the details and coloring it on stream and stuff like that. So I might do that for JT Tuesday. So you might see this character again. East keeps on killing it with these designs, and I hope you guys like my little design I got going on right here, because I think it's going to be like an alternate fit. I kind of like that. But yeah, until then, let me know what else characters you guys actually want to see, as long as you're not doing this. I'm gonna keep on shitting on stuff like this. Absolutely.
Okay. That's pretty much done with that. So, what should we do? So that was Jay the Concept. Forgot to say this. That was Jay the Concept. So if you like his video, everyone give him a follow. Please give him a follow. Link in the bio or link in the descriptions if you want to follow him and all that great stuff. I'll appreciate if you did. He's a pretty good artist, and he also gives great advice on how to keep your drawings in check. I think he focused more on like controversies that's going on like in the entertainment space, like anti-woke stuff to a degree. But I think he also teaches a little bit of what to look for as an artist.
Samurai said Jay the Concept.
So yeah, so give him a follow to Jay the Concept. Thank you, Jay, for that video, and hope to see more videos from you. And I like your content. All right. So let me see.